Before we go anywhere, let's take a breath together. Inhaling through your nose and exhaling slowly. Good. So I want to talk to the person who is almost done. Not done with the work, done trying, done showing up, done believing that any of this is actually going anywhere. The person who has been at this for months, maybe years, who has hit wall after wall after wall, who is exhausted from trying to make something work that just keeps not working, who has looked at everything they've built, everything they've tried, everything they've poured themselves into, and thought, what is the point? Maybe I should just start over. Maybe I should just walk away. I know that person. I've been that person more than once. And I want to tell you something that I wish someone had told me every single time I was standing at the edge. You're not failing, you're just in it. And those two things are completely different. There's a story I kept coming back to. It comes from Napoleon Hill, the same author who wrote Outwitting the Devil, a book that completely changed how I understand fear and resistance. The story is about a man who was mining for gold. He dug and he dug and he dug. He invested everything he had, his time, his money, his energy. He kept going. And eventually, after all the effort, all of the sacrifice, he stopped. He gave up. He walked away. He sold his equipment for almost nothing and went home. The person who bought his equipment brought in an expert to assess the site. The expert looked at it and said, the vein of gold is right there. 3 feet. 3 feet from where he stopped digging. 3 feet. After everything he put into it, he was 3 feet away from everything he had been working towards. And he quit. I think about that story a lot because I've been that miner multiple times. And I have feelings you have too. Before I tell you my story, I want to make something clear because this distinction matters more than anything else does in this episode. Failing looks like this. You stop completely. You go back to letting the outside world run everything. You stop trusting yourself. You hand your power back to everyone and everything around you. You close the door completely. Being in looks completely different. Being in, it looks like hitting walls, feeling frustrated, having things keep coming up that distract you and try and derail you. Seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, but never quite reaching it. Like it's always just out of grasp. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. 1 good week followed by a hard week. 1 breakthrough followed by a breakdown. Being in it looks like doubt. Questioning whether any of this is even working. Wondering if you're doing it right. Almost giving up, but not quite. That's not failure. That's transformation in progress. That's what it actually looks like from the inside. And the fact that you're still here, still showing up, still trying, still not quite able to walk away even when you want to, means you're still in it. And being in it is everything. So I want to tell you about a seed. Back in 2012, a mentor I had that I actually rented space from planted something in me without either of us fully knowing it. Actually, I think she did. She did. I know she did. What it was, but she didn't know what it was at the time. She just knew she was planting it. She introduced me to sound healing. Just a glimpse, a moment, a seed dropped into that ground. I used to play her bowls when she brought them in, her handpan. Oh, her stuff's amazing. I've been to her meditations when she was holding them. Every ounce I could do, I did. And then life kept moving. I kept working, building my wellness center, adding in massage, adding in services, and that seed just sat there quietly waiting for 10 years. At least 10 years. So in 2022, I finally took a deep dive. I bought my first set of singing bowls, started my first certification, started building my collection, started offering sound baths and sound therapy sessions and experiences. Needless to say, most of my stuff has come from that mentor. I don't want to name names because then I'm going to feel bad and I'm going to have to mention everyone. But I ended up getting this stuff from her, and I have no doubt in my mind I could not say no because I know the stuff, I know where it comes from, and I know everything is like miraculously picked. And she has good quality stuff. I know where she gets it from. So I know everything was going to be good coming from her. I didn't have to do the research. I trusted where it was coming from. And I would say in the beginning, it was slow going off, but it did pick up. People responded, something clicked. And it's still getting out there, it's still going. But something that had been sitting quietly inside, in the ground for decades, finally broke through the surface. But here's what I want you to understand. While that seed was sitting in the ground, while I had no idea it was even there, I was hitting walls everywhere else. Let me tell you about the years between 2020 and 2025. So, after 2019, when I went to school for coaching, I wanted to add more and work beyond massage. There was doubt there, but something in me felt like there was a right direction. And then COVID hit. Right when I graduated, the shutdown happened, and I got thrown into coaching. Before I was even ready, before I had found my footing, before I even fully understood what I was building. For years, I kept hitting the same wall. The coaching stuff wasn't landing the way I wanted it to. I was trying to integrate into everything, and it wasn't flowing. I was pouring energy into something that kept me feeling like I was bashing my head against a brick wall over and over and over again, getting more frustrated every time. And meanwhile, the sound therapy was growing, the sound baths were filling up, people were responding, something was working. But the coaching piece, the thing I had invested years into, just kept stalling. There were multiple times I wanted to dump everything, not just the coaching, but everything, the physical center, the online work, all of it, and just walk away and start completely from scratch. But something kept me going. The books I was reading, the awakening that was happening underneath, the quiet knowing that this was part of my path, even when I couldn't see where it was leading. And then the summer of 2025 came. I hit the wall again, harder than before. The coaching stuff still wasn't working. Yes, I had a few people in it. Yes, they had life-transforming things happen to them. But I was frustrated, exhausted, seriously questioning everything. This time, I didn't want to just walk away from part of it. I wanted to walk away from all of it, the whole thing, just start over completely. And then something happened. And then my current mentor and a close friend started questioning me. Not tearing me down, but to shift something. To help me see what I couldn't see from inside my own box. They asked me questions that made me really stop and think about things. That made me look at what I was actually building instead of what I thought I was failing at. And something dawned on me. Everything I had building, the coaching programs, the many courses, workshop, the content, the years of work that felt like hitting walls, it was all there. It was all already the foundation. I wasn't starting over. I was ready to build on top of everything I had already created. That's when the membership became clear. That's when the YouTube channel made sense. That's when I understood what all of those years of frustration had actually been preparing me for. I was 3 feet from gold the entire time. Here's the part I really want you to hear, because this isn't a story about something I went through and came out perfectly out on the other side. Right now, as I'm building this membership, as I'm building this YouTube channel, I'm in the mess of it. It's new. It's going to take time to build, and I have to keep reminding myself that, and I know that. I'm hitting walls right now, but I'm knocking them down one by one. I'm pushing forward because I know deep down inside this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. I know this work. I know this is right. Not because it's easy, not because everything is flowing perfectly, but because something inside of me, the same knowing that has guided me through every wall, every frustration, every moment I almost gave up, is saying, keep going. Great things take time. And I'm living that truth right now in real time with you. So when I tell you that you're not failing, that you're in it, I'm not telling you from something on the other side. I'm telling you from right here, right in the middle of it, right where you are. I want to say something about pivoting because I think a lot of people believe that changing direction means they failed. That if they have to adjust course, if they have to let go one thing to move forward or toward another one, if they have to let go of one thing to move towards another, it means everything they did before was wrong. It wasn't. The pivot is part of the process. It's what happens when you've gathered enough information, enough experience, enough clarity, enough knowing to understand what the next right step actually is. To understand what the next step actually is. I didn't fail at coaching. I learned through coaching. I built through coaching. And the time came to pivot towards the membership, toward facilitation instead of coaching. Everything I had done before became the foundation I was building on. Not wasted, but a foundation. So if you're in a place right now where you feel like you need to pivot, where the direction you've been going isn't quite landing the way you hoped, don't call it failure. Call it information. Call it clarity. Call it the process showing you what the next right step is. And then take it. So how do you actually know whether you're in the messy middle of transformation or whether you're generally lost your way? Here's the clearest signal I know. Are you still trusting yourself? Even a little bit, even imperfectly. Because real failure, the kind that actually takes you off your path, happens when you stop trusting yourself completely. When you hand everything back to the outside world. When you let other people's voices, the news, the doubt, the fear, run your whole show again. But if you're still here, still questioning, searching, showing up even when it's hard, you haven't failed. You're in it and being in it. Staying with it through the walls and all the frustration and all the doubt is exactly what the transformation requires. The seed needs time to ground before it breaks through the surface. And the time in the ground, the dark, quiet, invisible time, is not wasted time. It's growing time. So if you're standing at the edge right now, if you're exhausted and frustrated and seriously considering walking away, I want you to hear this. You might be 3 feet from gold. The wall that you keep hitting, it might be the last wall. The thing that keeps distracting you, it might be resistance showing up because you're getting close to something real. The frustration you feel, It might be the process doing exactly what it's supposed to. And I'm not telling you this from a place of having it all figured out. I'm telling you from this place. I'm telling you this from right here. Right in the middle of building something new, right in the mess of it. Hitting walls and knocking them down, pushing forward because I know this is right. Don't give up. See it through. And if you need to pivot, pivot. That's not failure, that's wisdom. The seed that was planted in you, maybe years ago, maybe decades, is still there. It's still growing. Even when you can't see it. Even when it feels like nothing is happening. You're not failing, you're in it. And so am I. See you in the next one.